Hi, my name is Leslie Williams and I'm in San Diego, California, and today's date is June 26, 2012. And I'm making this video today on behalf of me and my fellow targets who are suffering unconscionable, almost undescribable, unspeakable crimes that are happening towards us as a result of human experimentation and behavior modification. And these same expeditions also have some criminal aspirations attached to them. Now, you can go to Google and type in Vietnam Veterans of America suing the CIA through the law firm of Morrison and Foerster. And you can see that their litigation is still being tied up even 30 some odd years after the Vietnam War. And I went down to Morrison and Foerster, I think it was in either December or January. And I'm a target of organized stalking. And, excuse me, as a result of being a target of organized stalking, which is sponsored, literally by your tax dollars without the average American taxpayer knowing what the hell's going on. And what it is it's a way of the government using your tax dollars to literally protect the criminal aspirations and the organized crime that it's involved in. And I'm a federal and state whistleblower. And I'm going to flat out say this before I forget, because I have attention deficit disorder, and so I process a non-linear order. And I was camping next door to the FBI for 150 feet from the FBI building in San Diego from August 13, 2011 up until February 2020, the morning of the 22nd, 2012, where I was literally subjected to non-stop electronic harassment, remote neural monitoring, remote neural influencing, and remote neural stimulating. And what is known inside, if you go to Google and type in remote neural monitoring, you'll flat out be able to see that the computer to brain link is mentioned in the remote neural monitoring file. It's also called the computer to brain feedback loop. And organized stalking, even at that campsite, after I would get home about 9:30, 10 o'clock, it would already be dark. Time I got inside my camping area, my tent, I had tarps on top of it because, it started approaching winter, September and October. You wouldn't be able to see outside of the tent once I was inside of it. Excuse me, please. And I'd hear cell phones going off within 10 feet away from me. And if you looked at the area that's right behind Walmart's on the hill, I was camping my tent right on the other side of where the cement drain ran. Okay, so it was on level ground, somewhat level ground. And if you seen that area, if you ever walked up back in there, you'd know that there'd be no way I could hear cell phones going off 10 feet horizontally on the sides of me and in the back of me. Okay, so that right there in itself told me that people were also up on the hill with me. I'd hear sneezing, cell phones going off. At times I'd hear coughing. The microwave auditory effect was projected towards me at this location. And also remote neural monitoring, influencing, and stimulating. A video was also taken over by me while I was in the tent one day. I was trying to make a video that described what really occurred on October 10, 2011, when I was brutally assaulted on an MTS bus. And that video you can find online by typing in "learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on MTS bus." And make sure you look in the comments feature, because there's literally a printed out, scanned copy of an email that I made 11 days before the assault, showing that I predicted that assault flat out. And as a result of me attempting to make this video that was describing what really occurred on that day on the bus, I made it, and then I went to go listen to it, and every single verbal statement I made was replaced by electronic interference. Now, not even a week or two before that, I made a video over at USD. And in fact, it was about a week before that I made a video at USD of me being harassed by two individuals who were engaged in organized gang stalking. And then I took the memory card out of that video camera and went to go upload it by putting the memory card in a data reader writer. And what they did, literally flat out right there, was they stopped the video from processing. And what they did was they literally froze the video at the very first part of the video feature, which was showing the because when I turned the video camera on, as I was turning it on, and started the recording, it caught a picture of the library window, and then I picked it up and moved it towards the area where the gang stalkers that were in the library were bothering me and what they were doing. Well, they froze the video to only show a still frame of the window, but the length of the video is still the same. And they blocked out all the verbal statements and all the noise and everything, the background noise and everything that I said and everything that was going on, with the same exact electronic interference that was captured on the video they altered that I was making over at the FBI building. Now, a professor over at USD, who is a professor in communications that specializes in videos and images, his name is Eric Pearson, he noticed those two videos and posted it on USD's newsletter, First Post. He also posted a video of the first video that MTS sent me that was altered. They have sent me two videos, both being altered. And when I took a video picture of the video they sent me, because I couldn't upload that video because they sent it in the EXE format, which is not uploadable to YouTube. So I had to get out a video camera and take video pictures. I stopped the video as it was in play because I noticed a specific section on the video that was altered. So I stopped the video and then got out my video camera and took a picture of it and then uploaded that to YouTube. And he's seen that and uploaded it to First Post as well, USD's newsletter. His name is Eric Pearson. Now, the reason why I'm making this video file is because organized stalking, organized gang stalking, is done and expedited by a nationwide syndicate. Okay, it's nothing but literal organized crime that has been set up in each and literally every state in the United States in the system. And what they do is operate on a template of protocols and methods as far as how they expedite their crimes, and then how the system is used to protect it, and how certain employment descriptions that work within the system are used to expedite the crime and then protect the crime and expedite the results of the crime, like taking over people's property. They're into land co-opting, property co-opting, mortgage co-opting, trust fund liquidation, identity theft, racketeerings of all types of different schemes, including insurance, human trafficking, sexual servitude rings, and prostitution rings. And my name is Leslie Williams. I'm a good woman. Let me get back to what I was stating. You can go to Google and type in a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. And what that is a manifesto of a manager who manages and directs the organized stalking that a target experiences along the routes. He went offline and typed in who they are and who they're connected to and what they're about. He then went to an internet cafe and posted it online. And you can scrutinize this manifesto by typing in, again, a gang stalking tech, everything you need to know. And he flat out describes that they're a nationwide syndicate, and that that some police departments are have been totally overtaken by these crime syndicates, and that judges are involved, lawyers are involved, Medicare workers are involved. It's nothing but white and blue collar workers that are in the system and that are in the community that they're connected to. And what they do is use their employment descriptions and their connections in order to be able to flag a target, and expedite the crimes of organized stalking, electronic harassment, and remote neural monitoring, in order to be able to frame the result of why the expedition was expedited to begin with, which is nothing but flat out, in the end, racketeering. And even human trafficking is racketeering if you really take a close look at how human beings are being used as slaves to make money. Now, what was I going to say? Well, in the manifesto, it also clearly talks about research and how they view targets as nothing but lab rats. Now, what's been happening to me has been happening to me my entire life, and I just did not know it because of who my father and my mother, are connected to, and how they've literally indoctrinated at least 3 or 4 of their children in reference to selling them literally for human experimentation, behavior modification, and research as we were growing up. At least 2 of my other 3 siblings have been indoctrinated into organized stalking expeditions in reference to literally using them for these types of crimes. I believe my younger brother Mark may be indoctrinated in it, but he is at least being used to make money off of him. My older sister was used at first, I believe, to make money off of, and I think later on she got indoctrinated. My older brother Michael, I believe with all my heart that he has always been indoctrinated in these expeditions. But I also want you to understand something. I believe that my parents got involved in something, and I think over the years, because of things that I literally witnessed, they were also crimes of this as well. Because what we have to understand is that remote neural monitoring is used for also remote neural influencing and stimulating. And since neural decoding and psychotronics are also used in these expeditions, basically what they do is do nothing but get people to think certain ways, okay? And then reinforce that thinking and the associated actions, the associated motor cortex actions, and then use remote neural monitoring to identify and mark those neural pathways that are created as a result of conditioning targets to think and behave certain ways. And then they'll use remote neural monitoring to literally stimulate those neural pathways back into current consciousness in real time, which means in current time, to have those neural pathways and the thinking, which are the evoked potentials, and the associated neural cortex behaviors brought back into current consciousness to be played out in real time. And when you're stimulated using this technology, in reference to them identifying and marking particular neural pathways that they classically condition, and the motor cortex associated behaviors that are attached to them, including brain states, behaviors, emotional states, thought processes, and once they create these neural networks and reinforce them through classical conditioning, they identify and mark them using the resonance frequency of them, and use remote neural monitoring to stimulate them, to bring them back into current consciousness in real time. And you're stimulated below the perceptual radar, so you have no idea that these neural pathways have been stimulated from a remote distance. And since once these neural pathways are identified and marked and can be stimulated on any date, at any time during the day, on any day, even multiple times a day, they stimulate it in a way to where it's stimulated with a pulsating frequency. In other words, once they stimulate this neural pathway, they can once the pathway becomes active, they keep it constant by pulsating the frequency they send to it to keep it current and activated in current consciousness until it overrides all other conscious scrutiny or deliberations. So in other words, if a target does not know they're being stimulated while they're pulsating the stimulation, they have no other cognitive recourse to be able to use any other types of evoked potentials to counter-react the neural net pathway that's been stimulated. So when you really take a look at everything that I just got done telling you, this is literally nothing but neural enslavement and literal mind control. My name is Leslie Williams, and if you understand that if you can classically condition anybody from a 5-year-old to a 45 and everybody, all ages in between, into any kind of behavior, including getting a woman who's broke and hungry to think about all she has to do is get with a man, you know, because they dress it up and make it look casual and that it's no problem. They'll even bring a good-looking man along her path that's maybe even her type, because these organized stalking expeditions take psychological profiles of their targets in order to make the offer seem attractive and not a problem. The woman then deliberates, well, okay, you know, it's not going to be a problem. I got to eat. I'm not getting no help from social services as far as food, because social services workers are involved in these schemes. That's why they're used. They're literally used to keep social services, rightful, lawful services that should be offered to a target. They'll keep them away from a target. Yeah, because the whole goal is to condition the thinking that I can get with this person today. If it's a young man, they'll think I can get with this guy today. I might not be a homosexual, but I got to do it because I got to eat. Yeah, because there's a lot of homosexuals in these sexual servitude rings. And for the woman, they'll do the same thing. They'll casually bring the idea into the woman's head that she can get with this guy and go with him, you know, and get something to eat, you know, and be with him, and he'll get, you know, he'll help her out, and she'll be able to eat. Now, she's looking at her circumstances. I got to survive. She'll think it, process it, realize her situation while she's in the middle of processing it, and then behave on it. Yeah, then they'll do it a couple more times, and this is all about creating that neural pathway of the thinking and the motor cortex associated behaviors of acting on it. They identify and mark that neural pathway of her thinking that it's no big deal, I'll do it just this one time, okay, or I'll just do it this one more time, and then she goes and acts on it. That's one neural pathway. All the thoughts and all the actions, all the ideas, all the beliefs, all the hopes, everything is one neural pathway. They identify and market using remote neural monitoring and stimulate it back in current consciousness under the perceptual radar. And once it's stimulated, it literally overrides and crowds out all other conscious deliberations and scrutinizations. And the target literally believes that they're just having the same thought to the same current situation that they're deliberately kept in by the system in order to get them engaged and keep them engaged in being a prostitute for sexual servitude rings against their will, and they have no idea they've been sexually stimulated. And because they also sexually stimulate a target while they're thinking this, to aid and abet in the motivations of the motivation. So basically what I'm trying to tell you today is this is literally what they're attempting to try and set me up for eventually. Okay? My name is Leslie Williams. I make these videos today to try and help people understand the factual realities. They're literally taking people out of their homes for these types of expeditions. And I expose these crimes in order to help people understand the factual realities in reference to the statements that I've made. I'm a good woman. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't steal. I don't sleep around. I'm not involved in any illegal activity whatsoever. And I don't hang around anybody in San Diego whatsoever, or any part of California. Because I know better. Because they will infiltrate your life through casual means, through friendly means, through intimidation means, all to suck you in to take you to a second place, just like rapists do. Okay, I gotta stop this particular video file. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, and I expose these crimes because this type of technology and the expeditions that are cooperating with it and the type of people that are used, including the employment descriptions, will do anything and everything to entrap a target like me who's exposing the truth. This means along all my walking routes, all my routes to businesses that I go to, including government offices like DMV, the Department of Motor Vehicles, Social Services. As I'm walking down the street, they'll bring about a street theater towards me, which is nothing but a staged event where they try to frame the situation in order to be able to literally frame the results of the event that they're staging in order to entrap me by accusing me that I'm the problem concerning the event that they literally deliberately bring about towards my path. And they know I wear a digital tape recorder that's running at all times. So what they're doing is trying to bring people along my route that are acting real friendly, that have already been associated to these campaigns, or somebody new that they bring along my route, okay, that as they're approaching me, they're engaging in organized stalking, physical gestures that tell me mentally that they're already literally involved in these expeditions, but verbally they act nice. Why? Because the manager and director of these campaigns have already briefed on them what to do and what not to do and how to do what they do. And he also tells them to don't do this or don't do that because she wears a tape recorder. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, go to YouTube and type in gang stalking in San Diego and look at Sylvia L. Morales' YouTube videos. She even talks about how she was stalked to Walmarts, how they used Walmart's employees to literally take off the shelf an MP3 player that had recording capabilities. And you're a target of this crime. You're literally stalked everywhere you go, and the business community is brought on board concerning it because they have power positions in the community that are protecting it. Because you better believe they got to protect all these individuals that work within the system that are part of this. So they use their power positions to contact businesses and get their cooperation and surveillance in reference to anything a target does, including purchases. I whipped out my digital tape recorder in front of police and showed them and told them they were being taped as we were talking. Now, I already know the San Diego police are involved in this crime towards me, so all you have to do is do the math. Okay, so when they bring about these street theaters, no matter where I'm at, DMV, social services, walking route, trolley route, business route, whatever, when they bring these people along my path, and they even stage the witnesses, flat out, just Google everything I'm saying to you in reference to the description and cross-reference it to organized gang stalking, and look at how many Google-generated responses you'll get. When you deliberate everything that I'm describing to you and cross-reference it to organized stalking and see the amount of Google-generated responses, you will clearly be able to see that it's not just me stating these factual realities, okay, and how they operate and who they are. I gotta go. Today's date is June 26, 2012, and I'm getting ready to go to DMV right now. and to get my license. And I'm gonna probably not be getting out of here for another 40 minutes. And I'm gonna make another video file in reference to where I'm going and why I'm going there. And I'm gonna guarantee to you something right now. We're gonna see if any problems occur along my route to there. Okay, including bus routes, trolley routes, walking routes to get there in case I get off the bus and I have to walk a block or two while I'm there, including any problems with anybody concerning any you know, if I'm in line or at the counter or waiting in line, no matter who's sitting next to me, no matter who's in line behind me or in front of me, or who's next to me at the counter, security, employees, anybody. Because when you're a target of these crimes, you're literally stalked everywhere you go, so they can create these incidences along your paths, anywhere you go and anywhere you go to. And this is literally how they operate. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, and I'm a target of organized stalking. The San Diego police are directly involved in this crime. And just last week, I Googled organized stalking in California Highway Patrol. I haven't Googled yet organized stalking or gang stalking in Sheriff's Department for California yet, but I'm going to. And just do that in reference to what I just described at Google, and look at how many Google-generated responses you'll get in reference to these described, these descriptions to organized gang stalking. Again, today's date is June 25th, 2012. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California, and I'm a target of organized gang stalking, and I'm exposing these crimes to help me to help me, because the more they're exposed, the harder they have, the harder it is for them to expedite their methods towards me along my path, especially after I predicted before, and to help my other targets. Thank you.